Welcome, folks. I am Ravi Tangri, and I'm actually really excited about what we're going to be getting into today. I just want to take a moment to let some people come on and let's see where you're all coming from. What this is about is an aha I had recently about the situation that we're in with all of the uncertainty, the lack of control, the not knowing what's going on, when is this going to end, and suddenly realized that there's something that something there that I've experienced already that can help bridge this. And that's what this today's live stream is about. So I just want to take a few minutes, let people get on here, and then we're going to get moving. It's a, as I say, a huge aha I had. And sometimes I was just doing a live stream a little while ago where my guest was talking about how all of our lives, it contributes to where we are. It really does. Even when the pieces don't seem to make sense at the time, somehow they come together, and all the strange paths that we've walked connect together to get us to where we are now and where we need to go. And that was the sort of the blinding flash of the obvious that came to me recently that I want to share with you that has brought this about. So those of you who are on, please just drop down in the comments where you're coming in from, and just so I get a sense of who's there. So for those who don't know me, who aren't familiar with me, I'm Ravi Tangri, and I do work in two areas. I work with organizations on dealing with change, strategy, leadership development. I also work with individuals, often the leaders or the business owners in those organizations, to help get clarity on what it is that is important to you, what's you're passionate about, and then how do you resculpt your life around that. To me, everything comes down to purpose. With an individual, it's about, what's your why in your life, and then how do you resculpt your life around that. With an organization, it's what's the shared purpose, why do we exist, what's the difference that we're making, and then you build the strategy from that, you operationalize that. So that's a common thread that I've got in all of my work is purpose. And I've been doing a lot of work before and since the pandemic, supporting people in trying to find their way through, because there is so much uncertainty, so much confusion. And sometimes it's for them individually, sometimes it's for the organization. How do we operate when everything we knew has changed? And a few days ago, a little while ago, I had it was suddenly the dots started to connect about something else that I have to bring to the game that's incredibly relevant to where we are now. And what's going on is there is, the world that we're living in, it's uncertain. We don't know when we're going to get out of lockdown. If we do, will it be safe? What can we do? How can we work? All of these things. What's going to happen with our expenses? All uncertain. We don't have a lot of control, all of this. And I woke up one day and I suddenly realized I've lived this before. And not the pandemic, but all of those things. And I learned how to come through all that. And what I've found is that the healing journey I went on is 100% relevant to what we're all having to do now. Let me just, if I can, share a bit of my story. I was born in a country called Burma. I'm Indian by heritage, but my grandparents on both sides moved to Burma, so my parents were born there. And if you went to Burma, you would, if you walk through Rangoon, the city where I was born, you'd be inundated by pungent fish smell that they have, the sauce that goes into most of the meals from all of the markets and the restaurants, and that'd be woven through with teak and mango scents from all around. And everywhere you look around, you would see the pagodas reaching up into the sky. Now, Burma was the jewel of the British Empire. It was amazing. It was well educated. It was rich. And then when I was a year old, all that changed. The military took over and formed a junta, basically a terrorist regime. And it took until I was 5 for us to escape. Now, I don't think I saw any of the atrocities that went on there. Like, soldiers could stop you anywhere, just walking down the street, make you kneel, play head games with you. And if they felt like it, they could shoot you or not. That was their right. If you were a student and protesting, the students actually did protest. The army massacred them. And my dad was actually working at the university hospital, and they ran out of everything they needed, and they wouldn't let them get supplies from the other hospitals. So they had, so many people died that didn't have to. People would disappear. The soldiers would come around at 2 a.m. and people would disappear. You didn't know if they were dead or if they were in prison. You just never saw them again. So how does a child react to this? Because you don't know all of this stuff. So what would happen is you'd be there every night with your family, clustered together in fear, because the soldiers could come every night till 3 a.m, and then finally you could breathe and know that you were safe another night, or at least the adults could. All you felt was the fear that you marinated in. You would probably, at some point, you'd go up to your parents and ask what's wrong. And what would any parent say who's trying to protect their child? Nothing's wrong. Now, kids are empaths. You know, every fiber in your body is telling you that they are terrified, they're freaking out. And then they're telling you that nothing's wrong. So what do? Do you trust your own inner knowing? Or do you trust the people that you depend on to survive? My dad disappeared at one point because I didn't know. He had gone to England. He managed to escape to take a course, and he stayed there, applied for refugee status. He didn't dare come back because he didn't know if he would escape again. But I didn't know that. All I saw was everybody leaving. So, you know, you can just imagine that everyone's leaving but not coming back. How would you respond to that? And so this is how it went on for years until we finally escaped. And that was the birthright I took from Burma. And that took me a lot of years to work through. But what was I feeling in that? I was feeling wasn't the anxiety, the uncertainty. You don't know what to believe. You don't know when it's going to end. It just seems to go on and on. And that's exactly what's happening here. And the dots connected for me when I woke up that morning, that all of the things I learned to heal that, to be able to move forward in life, are 100% relevant to what's going on here, what's going on with everybody. And if you are a business owner or another leadership role, you're not only worried about, you know, yourself, your family, and everyone there, you're also looking after all of the people that are working with or for you. And you've got all of that uncertainty. How do you find clarity? How do you find certainty in uncertainty. And that's something that I learned to do to be able to move forward with life. So how does this come in? Where this is relevant is I was developing something before all of this hit that was for people, particularly people who are in a leadership role, often business owners, professionals that are, or in some sort of leadership roles. How is it that you can live and lead mindfully and purposefully? Because before all this hit, everyone was crazy busy. Most people didn't have time for themselves. There was, often you knew there was something more that you wanted. But when you're running around with work, with family, with kids, with friends, with community obligations, there's no time left for you. And so what I was building was something that could help with that. Now we add to the mix all of this uncertainty. And the thing is, if you do not find your ground, you're going to be a lot further back moving forward than if you are able to step out of that uncertainty to find your ground, where you're coming from, where to move forward. So the whole thing that I had put aside at first, I suddenly realized is more important than ever. And in order to build a system, build these resources, what I've done is I've actually subscribed to a program that is focused on that, how to create those resources in a way that really makes a difference. And it's a pretty substantial investment, but I think it's critically important. The reason I'm reaching out today is it's really exciting in terms of transforming and taking this to the next level to help people find that clarity, find that certainty moving forward. Is even though the full resource isn't available yet, this is not about taking a course. This is not about, because you can take a course, but it doesn't necessarily change everything. What you need is consistent work to move forward, a consistent commitment and support to move forward. So it's an ongoing monthly resource that is designed to help support you in moving forward. I'm still a little ways away from refining it completely, but what I wanted to put out there is a chance for people who are, if this calls to you, where you are feeling that need to find that certainty, find that clarity in this fog that is today's world, to start to be able to chart your way forward. I'm creating, if you will, rather than a monthly membership, a founding membership at what the membership will be. It'll be somewhere in the order of 47 or 57 a month. I'm doing it because of the current situation. I'm doing it at one flat fee for lifetime. You'll get access to this. What I need is your help over the next few weeks as I'm refining this to be able to make sure that it's exactly the resource that you and others need going forward. So what I'm making this available to right now is a flat fee for the lifetime of this. So there's no recurring monthly fees of $297. And what I'll do is, if you're from Canada, I'll make that $297 Canadian, not American. And so that it's a whole lot better deal. If this is something that is calling to you, I'm only making this available until the end of day tomorrow, Sunday, this weekend. That is it. If this is calling to you, please send me an email at ravi@ravitangri.com, and I can send you more information. This is to be a founding member of this system. There's already loads of resources there, but I want to have your partnership to be able to take it up that notch. So you'll be able to have all the resources as they're introduced. Weekly master classes, in-depth in-depth Jedi mind tricks. One of the things I can show you, if one of the biggest barriers to finding clarity is that nonstop head chatter, right? The self-talk. People call it the monkey mind. We're going yep, 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 like crazy. It's a source of anxiety. It's a source of confusion. Most people don't realize you can actually turn that off like that. And it's in fact one of the foundational pieces, one of the foundational little Jedi mind tricks that I have in this. I can show you how to do that right now. It's going to sound really strange, but if you can get a sense of that head chatter in your head right now, okay, go with me, just play, try this out. Get a sense of that where you're probably going, is this working? Couldn't this work? Or really, what the heck's going on? Get a sense of that. First sense, don't think about it. First sense, that self-talk that's going on, where in your head is it? Top, left, front, right, back, center, where? Okay, wherever it was, just imagine almost like you could pull it on a piece of string to the very top of your head. And just notice what happens. For some people, it actually shifts. For some, it doesn't. But just notice. And then just imagine almost like you could pull it on a piece of string. Just pull it to the very back of your head. And just notice what happens. Now, there's a spot right there where your spine meets your skull. Okay? Just imagine almost like you could pull it on a piece of string and snuggle it right in that spot where your spine meets the skull. What do you notice happens there? And you can type it in the comments if you want. It goes away. I have no idea how the neurophysiology of that works, but if you move that internal dialogue into that spot, it cannot operate. You can literally shut off that stress driver of yours whenever you want. Okay, so that's just one simple example of the Jedi mind tricks that I'm bringing into this. And if there are people who've taken some of my programs, the Mindfulness 101 or the 21 Days to Serenity, who've actually worked with this, feel free to jot in the comments the impact that you found from this. The other thing that you're going to get here is two of my foundational programs, Mindfulness 101 and Crafting Your Personal Vision. You'll get those included. The Mindfulness 101 is a $97 value. The Crafting Your Personal Vision is $197. You'll get those included for free. And you'll be able to get access to a whole lot of other resources. But it's only, this founding membership is only available until Sunday midnight. Okay, so whoever is ready, feeling called, I trust that intuition, that sense of being pulled forward. If this need or wanting, saying, I want that clarity, I want to be able to have that certainty, connect with what's important to me, with what I need to make the decisions to move forward, then please drop me an email and I will send you the information you need to join our founding members. On the Edge is the name of the program that we're launching. It's about how do we move to the edge and beyond, and how do we move from the edge, fly. These are turbulent times, and to me, it's like the eagle. The eagle doesn't fly through the storm. They fly above the clouds, above the turbulence. That's what this is about. How can we step above this so that we can have all of our resources to move forward? Please, if this is calling to you and you want to be part of this, to get access to all of these resources for the lifetime of the program, just drop me an email right now and I'll send you all of the information. Thank you, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.